When you discovered the law of attraction, you started to believe anything was possible. Life got better, much better. Now you want more, but it's not working. That's where the Manifest It Now show comes in. If you've been waiting for someone who can teach you the practical application to manifest quicker and easier while having more, turn the volume up, because the dynamic duo, Cassie Parks and Ginny Gain, are ready to teach you how to live the law of attraction like they do. It's time to laugh and learn.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Manifest It Now. I'm live in person with Cassie Parks.
And I'm here with Ginny Gain.
And this week we're going to talk about evidence. And this is the E of our Manifest It Now, the LOA way. And we're going to just talk about what evidence means when you're manifesting money, how you can calculate it, where people get it wrong, all the good, juicy stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
But first, Jen, what are you excited about?
I am excited about living in Florida right now. I know I mentioned it a million times, but it's just, I walk out my door and I feel appreciation for being in this weather. And although I love a little bit of cold once in a while, it is wonderful to be here and walk the dogs and just be outside in the sun. So much sunshine. I love it. So that's what I'm excited about.
I love it.
What about you, Cass? What are you excited about?
I'm excited that even though it's cold here, I can get in the hot tub and relax. And I love it in the snow.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different experience than like your summer pool, but I still have my water and space, and just makes me feel so abundant in literally any moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you jump out and roll in the snow? Are you one of those people? Because I always used to do that and get back in and it's like stings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, roll maybe not, but like walk around or like stand in the cold.
No, you gotta do a snow. What are you?
Snow angel?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure Xavier will love this.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, so when people think of evidence in manifesting money, what do they think it means?
Well, I think they either don't know what it means, they just sort of bypass it, or they think it means the thing that they want is here.
Yes. So that, like, the ultimate thing they want, right? So, like, it's only evidence, it's once you've manifested the thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, nothing, no point up to that. There's no evidence before it shows up.
Right.
Yes. I think I totally agree. It's like we're waiting for that full experience of whatever it is we want to consider that there's evidence showing up.
Which is like, even when I'm like, it's such not a fun way to do it.
I know,
like, evidence
guys.
is one of the best things,
Yeah.
because it allows you to get excited and have that feeling of what you want while it's on its way, and to see and it's getting closer, right? It's like when you're driving somewhere and the sign is like, 20 miles, 5 miles, 1 mile, and then you're there and you're like getting more excited because you know you're getting closer. And if you're not documenting your evidence, you're not getting that fun experience.
Yeah. And since we manifest because of the journey, like, we actually want the drive, we actually want the journey. And so using evidence to help us enjoy the journey, like, make it more fun. Evidence is so fun.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's, you guys know, that's one of the magic vibes is just fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is magical.
Evidence can be, well, we're just telling you, let's make evidence fun.
Yeah, it is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's what makes the journey more fun. So if you're like, evidence, or you had some sort of reaction when we said this is the next step,
Yeah.
like, pay attention, because this is your opportunity to make your manifesting journey a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it along the way.
And make it quicker, by the way. And counting evidence does that.
Yeah. So how do people normally get it wrong?
They just don't count
Don't
evidence.
count it,
They
yeah.
don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they don't count it and they don't give it enough credit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, evidence, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like, okay, that's great, but where's my stuff? Where's the
Yes.
thing?
Oh, I'll count this, but it doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
want this thing.
Right. Like, great, I've been finding pennies for a long time, but where's the $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, yeah, that was great that I got that extra $10 or that that raise, but it was only 5% raise, you know? And so they're like justifying and not letting the evidence build momentum and be enough in that moment.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the other big ways that we see this happen is so one of the big ways evidence shows up for us on our journeys is by other people in our life having something we want or the experience we want. And so one of the ways we often mess this up is by getting jealous when we see it in other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
People mess this up all the time. Instead of seeing like, oh man, someone got $10,000. That means mine is so much closer because it's happening in my world. I'm seeing it. I'm a part of it. I heard about it. Right? It means it's closer. They're like, well, where's mine?
Yeah.
Which automatically, you're telling on some level of the story, it's not happening for me.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you agree with this, but I believe we'll always see it in someone else first before we see it in our own. Like, I think that is one of the most important parts of the path. And because it comes in through the path of least resistance. So when you start seeing, you're talking to people who have a lot of money and there's more money around you, you are seeing people get unexpected money or manifest this different amounts of money, or you're getting raises, or your husband or your partner, right, is getting a raise. I get this little like, oh, my partner got a raise and I didn't. And I'm like, yeah, that's getting closer.
Right?
Yeah. Like, yes, that's what always happens. And so when you have to like choose to make that evidence. So like be aware of what you're assigning to when you see other people getting what you want.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, what do you think, Cass? Because I think sometimes people are like, well, I can't control like how I feel about it. Like, I see they have it and I don't. So like, how am I supposed to be okay with that?
This is the coaching that would literally happen if you came and coached that.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yes.
You get to make a choice. It's not, I can't control it.
Yeah.
You are in control. And you get to make a choice to see it as evidence, or you get to make a choice to be jealous. And it's as simple as that. Are you going to go right, or are you going to go left? That's it. That's it, without the drama that's in your head. It's a choice.
There's so much power in that. And like, it's so simple that your mind is going to want to reject that a million times. And I can even hear it like, but I feel jealous. Like, but I can't just change how I feel. And we're saying, guys, yes, you can. Feel the feelings. Listen to last week's episode and then choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, going back to feeling, if you actually felt the feelings instead of telling the story of what it means, because the jealousy is coming from the story that you're making up. It's not actually the feeling, it's the story you're using to back it up.
So when you see someone who just manifested 10K and you're questioning where's yours, and you sense the jealousy in you, it's not coming from that person having made 10K. It's coming from the story you're telling about you and what's going on in you.
And which is what you really need to check, because you're probably telling a story that it's not happening, which is going to make it continue to not happen for you.
Yes. And the way to change that story that it's not happening is to start to choose to see things as evidence so that you actually believe it's happening.
Yes. It's an automatic, it's awesome, because it's, one of the questions that I get a lot, or I think comes up in, like, well, how do you make yourself believe, right? Especially if you've heard the manifesting formula, ask, believe, receive.
Yeah.
Well, how do I believe? Count the evidence.
Yeah.
Automatic belief amplifying. It doesn't require work. It just requires seeing the evidence and documenting it. Celebrating it.
Yeah, choosing it as evidence. And one of my favorite parts of gathering evidence is letting whatever you're seeing be everything.
Yes.
So like, let it be enough. Let it be everything you need in this moment. Because you're attracting what you're ready for in that moment. So it is everything that is accessible to you, is available to you. So celebrate it like that. I know we're jumping ahead a little bit. Okay, so how would you define evidence, Cass, in manifesting? Or do you want to talk about how?
I just want to make this point. I
Yes.
think people get it wrong, or how they think the people get this wrong. They don't think that evidence impacts your success.
Right. They don't think it's important.
Yeah.
Right.
It greatly impacts your success.
Yeah.
This seems like a minor thing, and like, oh, we're just counting things that aren't even what I want. It's not minor. It greatly impacts your success and your speed of manifesting.
Yeah. Can we say a little bit more about that? Because I love what you just said. Like, it's, why am I counting things that I don't want?
Yeah. Or that aren't happening to me.
Aren't happening to me. Okay,
Yeah.
that's another yes.
Because it means it's getting closer. And maybe this will be more clear after we give our definitions, but it's showing up in your field. It's showing up in your reality. Your brain is choosing to filter that. And so that's important, right? Like if you hear someone randomly, especially like
Oh, yeah.
at
Overhear
another
a conversation.
overhear a conversation
Yeah.
where someone just got $10,000, like that is your brain tuned into that.
I know.
That means you're aligning. It
Yeah.
means you're like, it's getting closer and closer.
I love being like at the airport and overhearing people like, oh yeah, I just made this like $500,000 investment. I'm like, ooh.
Right?
Yeah. Because like, awesome, my brain's picking that up. So, and just like Cass said, we have the choice in that moment to say, this is for me. This is evidence that of my experience, or that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
So what do you want? And like, this is the journey. You get to make the journey what it is. Which one do you want to be choosing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would you give that definition?
So I'm gonna go with this one. It's a clue. Like I like looking
Ooh.
at it as if you're a detective
Yeah.
and you're getting closer and closer to the thing.
Oh, I love that.
right?
The detective just makes it like fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
right? And every clue, if you think a detective, you go down a path. Not every clue leads to the thing.
Yes.
But it's all part of the process.
Yeah.
It's all the things you have to. Every clue is getting you closer, whether it leads you directly to the thing or not. All of it is getting you closer.
Yeah.
And so it's just these little clues that you get to count that it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. This is a clue. More money is coming.
Yeah. And it's great to practice this in ways, like specific ways like this, like counting money, because it's very tangible. You know when someone's talking about money, you know when you see money, you know when, like, it's very easy to gather as evidence. And then when you get good at this, you can apply it in that bigger ways to say bigger life experiences unfolding. You understand the process in a new way, and you trust the process in a new way once you've gathered this evidence and then seen the manifestation happen and seen how, oh, that was an important piece of evidence that was a part of this manifestation. So with the windows, like when I was wanting to figure out the money for a car, and then it was not related to making a payment for windows, but that was just an evidence. I'm like, oh, okay, great. It fits into the ultimate manifestation, but I never would have known it was connected, right? So you get, as you practice gathering evidence and calling it evidence, labeling it as evidence, you get better at this process, and you see how it fits into the bigger pieces. So you trust more and more when the evidence is showing up in the moment.
Yeah.
That's one of the best.
It also builds that trust, like what you don't see, but when you count evidence and then, oh, it comes, when you are going for like that bigger thing, right? You're like, and you start getting it, you're like, oh, it's so close.
I know, and you get so excited.
You expect it.
Yes.
Which is one of those keys of manifesting, right? Like when you, I don't know, get the meter over from belief to expectation, that is an up level in your manifesting journey. And there is this place where you do go from belief to expectation. Not I believe it can happen or I believe it's possible, but I expect when I intend something, it happens. And so you're adding to that, you're up leveling in that, because the next time something comes and then something, you're like, oh, it's right around the corner, which is that expectation is speeding up the manifestation.
Yeah, totally. That made me think of a story of how so one of my clients is ready for her next baby and has been gathering evidence. And there is so much evidence that you just cannot ignore that it's happening. So now it shifted from like, oh, it's coming, and like, oh yeah, it's probably coming, to like, I'm just ready and it's going to show up. Like there's a knowing because there's so much trust in the evidence, like all of the evidence that has shown up. Yes. So you switch to that expectation of just like, okay, it's coming and there's nothing for me to do. I just get to keep enjoying the evidence unfolding.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. What's your definition of evidence?
I define it as like a reflection of what's active within you. So like when I'm talking about vibration and we're vibrational beings, if we're vibrating in a certain place, that life will reflect that to us. So if we're starting to like become more abundant, then life's going to show you, hey, here's money here and here's money here, or here's abundance here in different ways. Here's a gift here. Here's the unexpected stuff here. Here's a free thing, all that way. And I think of it as a reflection of who we are being.
Yes, I love that. So for this one, we don't really have stories,
like specific
stories, because we have just become so in tune with counting evidence, and we count everything. And it's also evidence. While we just told you how it builds up that expectation, like, oh, it's coming. It's not supposed to be, I saw this evidence and then I got the thing.
Yes.
It's a reflection of what is coming into your beingness, what is becoming your reality.
Yeah. I really like taking this away from a linear experience.
Yes, because evidence it's not linear.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, I'm going to find 10 pieces of evidence.
And then I get my thing.
Right.
Right? Because like when you're counting it like that, you're just trying to get there. We want you to experience evidence as the journey. And like, yes, it means it's coming, but like we said, let it be the whole thing while you're there, instead of just living in the future, waiting for the thing to come and the evidence isn't enough. It's like just a little bit. And so, we were chatting about this, and everything is evidence. Like for so many, like if I'm in a wealthy neighborhood, that's evidence. If I'm talking to rich people, that's evidence. If I got a deal, any sort of deal, like every coupon that we save, or every 50% off, every buy one get one free, is all evidence. Like we were driving, we went to the drive-in the other day, and she's like, okay, pulled up, and here's pay for 2 tickets. We're like, okay, great, here's $14, and she did the thing and passed us back $7. She's like, here, I gave it to you for one person. And we're like, okay, amazing. Like, this is evidence. And it's just continually, it's like this life of you just live that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought of it because we were having evidence stories, but I think there was one when you were at Hippocrates a couple years ago. We'll put it in the bonus. But I just remember you meeting a guy and this whole story about it. It might not have been at Hippocrates, but it was where you were somewhere.
Cool. I have no idea, so I'm excited for that.
But I was just thinking how, like, when you sit there and that is in your life, and I want to say he had a boat and he had this amazing business and was making all this money and was on this amazing vacation. And like, oh, I'm just sitting next to that person. Like, it's next
I'm
to
in
me.
that energy. Like, that is active in me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm attracting these, like, abundant people in my life.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a reflection of my abundance. That's totally how, what's what I make it mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is your opportunity, is to think of a time when you get upset because someone got money you didn't. Mm-hmm. Just go in this moment, count that as evidence of money coming to you.
Yeah. Just decide
it's evidence, because that's how you count evidence.
And so one of the easiest, most powerful ways to apply this is just to create your own evidence log. And so, we usually always have our phones with us, but I have a notes thing in my notes thing, and you just write it down. It's always with you. Pop it in that list, decide it's evidence, and remember, you get to choose what is evidence, but like actually documenting it makes a difference.
And so I will say, maybe we're going to do this.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we are going to do it. Never mind. So I'll wait. Let's. And so this is perfect. The way to practice this is to set an evidence gathering alarm. Alarms are great because they make you stop, and you're actually training your brain, to take a pause once a day and look around for evidence or think about what evidence you've seen. So set an evidence gathering alarm the same time for the next 7 days, same as before.
Remember, this is the only thing you're doing this week.
You're not doing anything else. This is the only thing you're doing. And look for only money-related evidence. So this is another thing where I think there's a huge opportunity for people to up-level, is we're talking about abundance. This season is about money. So don't try and apply this to everything. Apply it to money, like we're talking about. Yeah. And so only money evidence. The universe will still hear you if you want a relationship, if you want that. But if you can practice tuning into that money abundance only and really counting that, you're going to see a good return on that, right? You're going to see more and more money showing up. You're going to see more and more money evidence. And when you see more and more money evidence, that means more and more money's coming.
Yes.
So really take the challenge to maybe set down your evidence, if you have an evidence log, of everything that you want in your life, and just put that focus on money for this week.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah.
And then we want you to write your
do you see?
We want you to write your definition of what evidence means in money for you.
Yeah. And what evidence in money means to you, so that you know what you're doing and why and you know what the definition is. You're clear on that.
Yeah. And then so we want to wrap up with our powerful affirmation of, I know when I see evidence, I get money faster.
I know when I see evidence, I get money faster.
And this week in our bonuses, we're going to be talking about some of our favorite money evidence stories. And so if you are in our hub, we will see you there, and then we'll see you next week.
Hi, it's Cassie. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Manifest It Now. I hope you're ready to go out and be extra awesome. If you're looking for more resources, support, ways to engage with LOA, or shift your money mindset, you can go to CassieParks.com. That's CassieParks.com and click on complimentary, like cocktails, coaching. Go to CassieParks.com and click on complimentary coaching for more in-depth into LOA, how to shift your money mindset, how to identify your money story, and even more to help you go be even more awesome. CassieParks.com, complimentary coaching.
Go be awesome! Thank you for joining us on the Manifest It Now show, where you learn how to leverage the law of attraction to manifest your dreams. Now that you're inspired, share the love and review us on iTunes. While you're there, remember to subscribe.